Hey Burlington, my name is Sam Donnelly and I'm the Executive Director of Building Burlington's Future.
And I'm Michelle Ash. I am the chair of the board of Building Burlington's Future.
So about 7 months ago, Michelle and I got together for coffee. We both have mutual experience with Let's Grow Kids. Michelle was on the board of Let's Grow Kids for about 7 years, and I worked as the government relations manager at Let's Grow Kids for a couple sessions. And we said, wouldn't it be great if there was a Let's Grow Kids focused on the issues in Burlington? So let me tell you a little bit about what that means. That means that the Let's Grow Kids model was focused on policy development paired with grassroots community action. They worked with the experts, they worked with the stakeholders, the early childhood educators to build policy that would solve our childcare crisis in Vermont, and at the same time they built community support behind those policies. They elevated the issue of childcare and eventually helped the public get behind the big childcare bill we passed in 2023 and move it forward. I'm going to give the mic to Michelle now to talk a little bit about what that means for Burlington.
Thanks, Sam. So what that means for Burlington is building a coalition, a group of folks that sign on and say, yes, I want to be part of building Burlington's future. I want to stay informed, I want to know what's going on, and I want to know when you need me, when there's a call to action, I want to know what that action is. Pair that with some serious work on creating policy with our nonprofits in Burlington who are boots on the ground, with business owners, with our elected officials, with experts around the state and the country to create effective policy. When that policy is a resolution and when it's before City Council, we'll be able to educate Burlington residents who today want to stay informed, want to take action, but don't know what to do. We're giving people a path as far as what to do. So combining those two for Burlington, we think is going to be a very powerful force.
I couldn't agree more. And if you want to get involved or engaged with our organization and start working with us to move policy forward or just to stay informed, you can go to buildingburlingtonsfuture.org and sign up to get involved there. All right, I want to start by saying my name is Sam Donnelly, and I'm proud to announce that I'm the executive director of this new organization that we're starting. And I want to thank you. Thank you. I want to kick things off by saying a couple thank yous. First to our host here today, Echo. I strongly believe that Burlington is incredibly lucky to have such an amazing, accessible, and family-centric asset right on our lake and right in the heart of Burlington. So I want to thank Echo for hosting us. And on that note, I think we owe them a little bit of a shout out. They're opening a new center, I'm going to mess up the name, but something like Into the Lake, where you'll be able to learn a lot about the different life that's in our lake, how it gets here, and lots of other amazing facts. So I really encourage you to check that out when it opens up. I believe that's on July 15th. I got a nod. Great. I also want to thank the people behind me for joining us here today on one of the hottest days of the year for our launch. I planned that purposefully. Kidding. I'm a Vermonter, so if it gets to 60, I'm happy. 70, I'm uncomfortable. And 80, I want to leave and go farther north. And then lastly, I want to thank the numerous supporters, donors, board members who are here today, community stakeholders, and friends who have gotten this organization to this moment and will take us even further. So today, we're launching Building Burlington's Future. It'll be a new organization here in Burlington that will be focused on policy development and grassroots community-based action. Building Burlington's Future will focus on a shared vision for our city. We believe strongly that our city needs to be healthy, it needs to be inclusive, it needs to be welcoming and diverse. We believe in a city where everyone has a strong sense of safety. We believe in a city where long-time and new-time residents can afford and start a life here. We believe in a city where there is ample housing for everyone of all kinds. We absolutely love this city. I believe everyone behind me shares that feeling, and we want it to be a place where no matter what side of the city you live on, or no matter how long you've lived here, you feel safe, you can afford to live, work, and play, and where our local economy can support our city. We hope, and the ultimate goal of Building Burlington's Future is that it will be a unifying grassroots force that our city desperately needs right now. We want to build a community where everyone has an opportunity to weigh in on policy development, weigh in and feel like a part of the solution process that we need in our city, and have access to our local government and feel like they can be a part of something. So with that said, I'd like to turn things over to a couple other speakers who are going to say some words today. And we're going to lead things off with one of our board members and one of Burlington's great former mayors, Mayor Peter Clavell.
Thank you, Sam, and let's have a round of applause for Sam for the very important role he's played in launching this baby. I don't get a mic before me too often these days, so settle in. I got a lot to say. No, I'll keep it to 3 minutes. I know that I'm going to age myself when I tell you that my engagement with this community goes back 44 years. And actually, if you count your birth as an engagement with the city, I was born 76 years ago at the Gosbian Hospital, then the Gosbian Hospital in Burlington. But I began my engagement, as many of you, I hope, are going to begin your engagement going forward from today, as a volunteer. I volunteered in the first administration of Bernie Sanders in 1981. Lo and behold, I then found a job there for a period as personnel director, then as CEDO director. Then I had the honor and the pleasure of serving the city of Burlington for 7 terms as mayor. When I left the mayor's office in 2006, I went on to a career in international development, and most of my work was focused on building strong communities and building the capacity of local governments. I must say, since retiring from that position in 2016 from full-time work, I've enjoyed my retirement. So when I was contacted by some of these scoundrels behind you who were scheming up this idea of building Burlington's future, I listened carefully. I thought it was a good idea. But when they asked me to join the board, I hesitated. You know, I've been in enough meetings for one life, right? Yes. So how did I overcome that hesitation? And why do I stand before you today as a proud board member? You know, like you, like all of you here, and like thousands that aren't here, I love Burlington. You know, I love our downtown, our waterfront, our lake, our parks, our wild spaces, our neighborhoods. I could go on about places. But my love is not just about places. It's about the people that call themselves Burlingtonians. I care about the people that live in this community. I really do, and I care about all of them. Small business owners, young families that are just starting off with kids in this community, senior citizens, of which I count myself as one, first responders, teachers, public servants, those that work in both the private and the nonprofit sector, refugees, immigrants who have come to Burlington, settling here, seeking a better life for themselves and their family, our LGBTQ community, our unhoused residents, hundreds of unhoused residents, many living right up the waterfront in the urban reserve. And yes, I care about those who are struggling with addiction and mental health challenges. So that's why I'm here. I'm here because I love Burlington. I'm here because I care about the people of this community. And I'm convinced that BBF has the potential and the promise, and in fact, with your help, will succeed in making life better for all of us. I'm very impressed with the mission and the vision of BBF. If you haven't taken a look at it yet, please do. I also decided to join the board because I was reminded of the advice as I traveled around the world, including living in Albania for 4.5 years, that I would give to citizens there. I would tell them, building a good being a good citizen and building a strong community, it's not a spectator sport. You need to get on the field, you need to roll up your sleeves, you need to go to work. So that's what we're about, building Burlington's future. We're about asking all of you to go to work, to participate in community building, and bringing about the positive change that requires my engagement, your engagement, and the engagement of thousands of other citizens. So we've got hard work ahead of us. We need to develop an inclusive strategy. Today's the launch, but we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it together. Thank you very much. And we're going to do it with the nonprofit sector. So let me introduce to you Tanya, who's the Executive Director of Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you, Peter. Hi, my name is Tanya Bonoski, and I have the honor of being the Executive Director at the Boys and Girls Club of Burlington. Thank you all for being here today. It's a real pleasure to be with such a passionate, caring group of people who care so much about our city. When I think about what makes our city vibrant, I think of our young people. Research and my own experiences show that the more caring adults a young person has in their life, the more resilient they are. And studies show that the more engaged a young person is in their community, the greater their chance at success. And that is why collaboration is so important. When families, teachers, coaches, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and government at all levels come together, we can achieve something that none of us can achieve individually. We create care, we create opportunity, we create community, and we exalt the natural talents of all of our young people. Yesterday was our first day of summer camp, and for each day throughout the rest of the summer, we will welcome 100 young people through our doors each day. When they leave at the evening, many of them will head directly to Roosevelt Park for dinner. And this is where community collaboration becomes alive. The Burlington School District purchases pizza, Burlington Parks and Rec provides the staffing, and the Burlington Boys and Girls Club supports it all. This morning we had 3 teens who left for a fellowship program with a local business. We just completed a partnership with the Community College of Vermont, whereby they helped us to provide career exploration activities to our young people, which included visiting a dozen local businesses, including places like Green Mountain Power and Rhino Foods. Right now, we have 40 of our young people participating in post-high school programs, and by that I mean college and training programs. This is part of our Early Promise academic program, where we provide scholarships and deep levels of individual support to our club members. This work is only possible because of the incredible philanthropy of many, many people in this community, including the Parmelo family, whose giving has strengthened Burlington in many ways. Over the years, we at the Boys and Girls Club have seen how grassroots, neighbor-to-neighbor conversations reveal the true needs we all have and inspires the action that is actually needed to create strong neighborhoods. That's how we partnered with the city to raise funds to have our academic center in Roosevelt Park, a place that helps to welcome our young people, but all people, into a park in Burlington to do things like play tennis, basketball, and participate in community events. At the Boys and Girls Club, we are all in for the success of our young people. Our club kids need all of us, and we all need our club kids. I am hopeful and optimistic about what we can achieve together. I know that together we can help ensure that Burlington remains a safe, vibrant place for our kids to dream big and build great futures for themselves right here at home. Thank you. And I now turn it over to Eric from Turning Point.
My name is Eric Sokolowski. I'm on the board at Turning Point Center, and I want to thank the BBF for inviting the Turning Point Center here today. Now, more than ever, collaboration among nonprofit organizations is essential to effectively address the challenges facing our community. At the Turning Point Center, we believe recovery is not only possible, but achievable and life-changing. Our center offers a safe, substance-free space where individuals and families find hope, understanding, and connection. Addiction is fatal if left untreated, and recovery is the gateway to healing. The center offers 6 vital services: emergency department recovery coaching, peer support recovery services, center-based recovery coaching, parents in recovery coaching, outreach recovery coaching, and corrections recovery coaching. In 2024, we served over 1,200 individuals in our recovery coaching programs and welcomed more than 21,000 visits to our community center. We are retaining individuals in their coaching programs for an average of 12 months. It's free of charge for them, no insurance, no wait list, 365 days a year. The impact the center has is significant, not only for individuals and families in recovery, but also for the broader community, as we work together to address some of the root causes of what we see on our streets every day. Thank you. And now I'll introduce Steve Conant.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Steve Conant, husband, father, entrepreneur, employer, landlord, proud member of this community. Thanks for having me, and thanks for making it on this hot day. I've always loved creative, entrepreneurial energy. You know that feeling when someone with a great idea goes all in? Others jump in and help bring it to life. That spark, that momentum. I live for that. Here in Burlington, we've seen that kind of energy transform our city. From ice cream to global brand, from Church Street becoming a car-free gathering place, bike paths replacing train tracks, oil tanks replaced by lake views. Yes, I've been around for a long time. Maybe longer than Peter. So that same spirit of bold vision and shared effort is what drives real change. It's what drives successful businesses and effective nonprofits. And today, we need that more than ever. Burlington's facing serious challenges. They're complex, but they're solvable. And they require exactly what we do best here: creativity, collaboration, optimism, and good old-fashioned hard work. When Peter and Michelle Ash described building Burlington's future to me, or BBF, I recognize that same entrepreneurial spark, the kind that says, we can do better together. BBF is about uniting people with different strengths around a common goal, making Burlington not just safer and more livable, but one of the best places in the country, if not the best place in the country, to live, work, and raise a family. I've done all the above. I look forward to the future. So let's focus on that future. Let's tap into the energy that's made this city great before and do it again. Let's jump on board, roll up our sleeves, and build Burlington's future together. Thank you all.
I'd like to introduce Michelle Ash.
Thanks, Steve. You're a little taller than me, so I'm just going to tilt that down a little bit. So thank you all for coming on this hot, hot day. And not just for your attendance, but for your spirit and for your purpose. What we're launching today is not just an organization, it's a movement of neighbors who care deeply about Burlington's future. We just heard some powerful words from our community leaders. Tanya, who takes care of our children, Steve, who represents our incredible small business community, the folks at Turning Point supporting folks in addiction, and Peter, sort of our civic champion. And I just want to say, those leaders, along with all of you, represent the heart of Burlington. You each remind us what's at stake and what the possibilities are if we come together. We launched Building Burlington's Future because something in our city has changed. More people feel unsafe, more feel unheard, and unfortunately, there's a growing belief that our city can't change. But we're here today to say that we believe in Burlington. We are here to point forward what is possible when neighbors come together, voices rise together, and we remember that safety and prosperity are not luxuries. They are building blocks to a thriving city. And I'm going to say that again. Safety and prosperity are not luxuries. They are building blocks for a thriving city. Here's the good news. Burlington's best days are ahead of us. Together we can and we will build a city where families feel safe, businesses are supported, and we can all feel proud to call Burlington our home. This is what Building Burlington's Future is about. It's about action, it's about practical solutions, and it's about you. So, my invitation is please join us. Stand together, take action, and remember this. The Burlington we all believe in, the Burlington that is vibrant, welcoming, safe, is within reach. Together, we're not just responding to the moment, we are creating the change. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart coming out on this hot, sticky day. And I just want to thank everybody. Can we give ourselves a round of applause? So before you all leave, there is water in the back. Feel free to take one, and let's get to work.
This is a great initiative. It really aligns well together so many different organizations in Burlington, and we know right now Burlington needs all the help it can get. It needs everybody pulling in the same direction, and I feel confident that Building Burlington's Future is going to play a key role in helping us do that.
Hi, I'm Bram Klepner. I'm one of the state reps from just south of here in Burlington, and very excited to be here supporting Building Burlington's Future. It is a remarkable group of civic leaders who have come together with a vision for Burlington and with a determination to help the city and help the state address the problems in Burlington and turn Burlington into the amazing city that we all know it can be and that we all love.
I am so proud of Peter and Michelle for doing this for Burlington. It's wonderful. Peter.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Thank you for coming.